Hello and welcome back. Today in this session we are going to learn how to create variables in JavaScript. So for this you have to understand some notes of it. So I've got some topic here, chapter 1, variables, and when I open this or navigate it, I do see variables in JavaScript. So let's have some idea about how to create variables in JavaScript. So variables are mainly used to hold an argument value. So if you have to assign some value to the variable, you have to assign like this in JavaScript, like var a is equal to 10. That means variable a is holding value 10 inside its memory block. Default variables will always hold single argument value. If you are assigning variable with a value, make sure you will always assign single value. If you assign multiple values, it will override. Variables in JavaScript are case sensitive. So if you are declaring a variable with lower a and assigning some value to it, and if you want value of this 10, you should call lower a only. If you are calling upper a in JavaScript, it won't work because they are case sensitive. If we assign new value to the existing variable, then it will override its previous value with the new value, and this will be only done at the time of its existence. So I'm going to explain how you can assign, and if you assign a new value to the existing variable, it will overwrite. So this statement I will show you on the coding level. Argument value should be right side and variable should be left side. You can see here the value is right side and the variable is left side. And to assign it, we may use assignment operator. So whatever the value you're assigning 10 towards its variable to hold its value, that can be done through a single equal to, which is treated as assignment operator. So this is how you create a variables in JavaScript. When you assign var a is equal to 10, this will hold its value inside its memory block. Default is a single memory block. Now next thing is you have to understand how to create the formats. So first character of a variable can start with alphabets, underscore, dollar. That means the first character of a variable can have only three choices: alphabets, underscore, and dollar. The second character of a variable can start with alphanumeric. Means you can start your second character of a variable either alphabets or numbers, and you may also go with dollar. Means I have three choices in the first character declaring, like alphabets, underscore, dollar. Second character can go with alphabets or numbers or underscore. Minimum one character is required for creating a variables in JavaScript. So at least one character is required for creating variables in JavaScript. And joining of two different words cannot carry spaces between them, but instead can use underscore or camel case. So if you are trying to create a variable and it has got two different words, for example, I'm going to create a variable first name. So if you can see here, there are two different words, first name. So I cannot have spaces between them. So if I want to have these two words at a time, I can join it through underscore or camel case. If you want to have some more examples like credit card, it has two different words. You have to make it single by joining it with underscore or camel case. So these are the points that you have to remember while you create a variables in JavaScript. So let me go through a coding view and explain how you're creating a variables in JavaScript. So let's get into the coding level. So currently I'm on a desktop and I'm choosing a folder called JavaScript in a desktop. So things to understand is the variables or JavaScript can save anywhere on your computer. It's not required that you have to go through desktop only for saving the files. You may also save your files anywhere on your computer, irrespective of whether it is D drive or E drive. But for me to easily access the files, I believe desktop will be easy for me. So I'm going to go in JavaScript folder within the desktop, and here I'm going to create a new topic called variables. So this will be my lesson 1. And why I'm saying this as lesson 1, let's have a walkthrough about that. Variables. So if you see here, the variables are chapter 1. So I'm going to create a folder called lesson 1 inside the folder of JavaScript. So let's have this work done now. So in lesson 1, we are going to go inside this folder and take a text file, which is I'm taking this text document, double click on it, file, save as, and I'm going to keep a topic name as variables.html. So you need to declare your files of a browser with .html. So as soon as I create .html, this will give an icon which is browser icon. In my case, my default browser is Mozilla Firefox, so it is giving this as an icon. So if your computer has default browsers, Chromo, .html files will give you Chromo or IE. So this is my file, and I don't need this file anymore, text file, so I'm deleting it. Now when I double click, this page won't show anything. Okay, so I need to go to the editing coding part. Okay, edit this with my editor, edit with Notepad++. So this is my editing part, and this is my visible part on a browser execution. So let's go and declare some basic syntax. HTML head, and we are going to create a body tag. Now when I do the structural design, the skeleton of the HTML, the browser won't show yet anything, so it's not going to show anything. So I'm going to go and say something like welcome to my page. So if you're writing something in the body tag, it will print now. So if you can see here, yes, and HTML is a marking language, so I'm going to use one h1, and I will close this here with the h1 tag. So this is going to mark a biggest heading font. So currently I'm not training HTML, CSS. You should have a good exposure on HTML and CSS. So we are learning JavaScript. So let's get back to the JavaScript variables. Okay, so just to avoid some time, I'm not going to write this. I'm going to paste a ready coding. So here, this is your HTML head, and we have a couple of CSS added through link, and we have a style here, and then we have a body tag. Now in between this body tag, I'm just going to say hi, break a line, and then going to say hi again. So this will execute like this. So what I'll do is I'll keep this two things within the div. You can see here within the body tag we have div, and I'm pasting it. Now when I run this, if you watch very carefully, we have font size increased, and the content is little bit left side more increased, and the font size is also increased, and the family has been changed. This is all I've already added through CSS. So you can see that this is written in div, and in div the font size is 22, and it is moving towards left side 50 pixel, and there is a distance between line to line, that is because of line height. So this is already declared in div. Now if I remove this from the div and write that in JavaScript, so we are writing the content in JavaScript, but this JavaScript is kept inside the div. Now anything you write in JavaScript and you want to print it, it won't be printed. So if you want to print something in JavaScript, you have to use a printing method called document.write, and I'm going to say hi and a break and just run it. So what you want to write, you have to use a printing method. So this hi is now going to print it through JavaScript. So when I run this, you can see here. So if you want something to print, you have to use document.write or console.log. So let's go and create one variable where a is equal to 10. So I have assigned a value to the variable 10. So this will store the value inside its memory block. So if I write anything in JavaScript, and you will not be expecting them to print because you have just initiated it, you have declared it, but you didn't print it. So to print it, you have to use document.write. Now I'm going to put down here original value of a is equal to a. So you have to understand whatever you write within the quotation. So we have a quotation open and the quotation closed. So whatever you write within the quotation, what you write is what you see. So when I execute this on the browser simply writes original value of a is equal to a. Now before I further continue, I want to give a title to this page. So I'm going to go within the body tag and I'm going to say variables in JavaScript. So this is going to print like that, and I'm going to use a h1 here, h1, and this is h1. Now you please you should already understand, if you write anything in h1, this will give you a border bottom 3 pixel and Pacifico is a font family which is coming from Google, and there is a letter spacing between 3 pixels. Now that's what you're going to see here. We have border bottom 3 pixel dashed black. Okay, so now let's get back to our work. Original value of A is equal to A. I don't want to print like this. Original value of A should print A is equal to 10, but it's not fetching its value. It's just printing directly as is. So I'm going to remove this, and when I run this, it's saying original value of A is equal to, I need 10 here. So I'm going to come out of the quotation, because anything you write in quotation, what you write is what you see. So I'm going to print here out of the quotation A, and when I save it and run it, it's not printing. So actually you should understand, from quotation to quotation there is one argument, and you are trying to call variable to print within that sentence as a single line. It will not be joining, because this is one single argument and this is another argument. It won't be joining, and that will not execute. So if you want to print it, you have to use plus. In JavaScript, plus is treated as concat. So concat is mainly used to join more than one argument. From quotation to quotation, one argument, and this is another argument. So multiple arguments can be joined through plus, which is treated as concat. So when I run this, this is printing well now. Original value of A is equal to 10. Now I want to use some marking. Yeah, you can use bold. So if you know bold, it is going to bold it. So original value of A is equal to 10. Now let's declare another variable like var name is equal to Tony. So I've got a new value Tony inside a variable name. So document.write. So I'm going to print my name is. I'm going to make it something like plus name. This is how you join. Now when I run this, now these two printing methods are directly printing on a single line. So I need this to be breakdown from here. So I'm going to go, so here is 10. After 10 I need break. So A is what is printing 10, and I'm going to join break. So I added break, and you can see that it is printing, but the bold is continuing, which I don't need. So B is open, and I'm going to close B here. So this is where I got my complete bold within the given area, and this is not printing, but I want Tony to be printed bold. So I'm going to go here and open B, and I'm going to close it here, and next line it will be joining with break. So this is how I added my variables with the value, and the marking is bold. So my name is Tony. Let me create another variable. Let's say I want to go with L name. L name is equal to Richard. Our last name is equal to Richard. So I want to print this document.write my last name is, and I'm going to join a bold plus L name plus bold and then break. So when I run this, it will print my last name is Richard. So L name is printing its value. Now if you see this carefully, for these variables I've declared var, and for this I didn't declare var. So var is default. You write, it will also work. If you don't write also, it will work. So that is how I create variables. So let's go to the topic and understand here one more point. So here in variables in JavaScript, we will try to understand these topics. Variables, first character of a variable can start with alphabets, underscore and dollar. So let me show you this example. So here the first character of a variable have alphabets. You can see here alphabets only. And let me just go and try this one. Underscore, let's say A, okay, is equal to some 50, 55. So 55.25. Now I want to print this document.write my value of underscore A is equal to plus underscore A, and just joining with bold and break. So I just close bold, but I want to make bold started from here. So let's go and see whether it's working or not. So here I'm going to execute this. My value of underscore A is equal to 55.25. So the first character can go with alphabets, or the first character may also go with underscore. So you can see here the first character has underscore. Next, I will declare $b is equal to something like 10.25, and let's say I've got some dollar here as a currency. So document.write value of $b is equal to plus $b plus, and joining a bold and a break. So just forgot it here to add the bold, so adding it. Now if you watch very carefully, the first character can go with alphabets, underscore and dollar. So if you see this, it's going to execute it. The value of $b is equal to 10.25 means it is working, it's printing it. So the first character can go with alphabets, underscore and dollar. You cannot declare the first character itself with a number. If you declare it, see, if I'm going to declare a number here, let's say I want to declare a number here, okay, the variable colors itself are changing, and if I'm calling like that, is it working? Let's find out. No. So the entire coding is being blocked, it's not working. So the first character can go with alphabets, underscore and dollar. Now let's go for the second character. Second character, if you can see here, these are many characters in a variable. This is a single character. So according to notes here, a minimum one character is required for declaring a variables in JavaScript. So to identify this very carefully, minimum one character is required. Okay. Next, the first character can go with alphabets, underscore dollar. So here we have alphabets, underscore dollar. Next, second character of a variable can start with alphanumeric and underscore. So let's point out this information and just help me out. I'm just going to help you out how this is going to be done. Okay, so let's go and understand. So the second character can go with alphanumeric. So the first character cannot go with alphanumeric because the variable color itself is changing. Let's say I want to go with B10. Now B10 is equal to some 1000. Okay, so here we have B10, which is printing its value. So the second character is a number. So let's go and find out whether it's working or not. So document.write original value of B10 is equal to plus concat B10 is getting printed, and closing a concat and closing a bold and a break. So now we'll see whether it's working or not. So I'm going to execute here. So original value B10 is 1000. So it's working. The second character can go with number, but the very first character cannot go with number. See, if I'm passing number, it's not working. So this is something you have to mandatorily understand. The second character can go with number. Now further not wasting my time, I want to say you the first character can have underscore, and second character, if you see here, second character can go with also underscore. The first character can have underscore, second character can have alphabets and numbers. So to explain it very carefully, you may also have second character underscore. So you're calling two underscores here, and actually you are creating two underscore a, and you're calling just one underscore. This will leave a kind of blank. So it's not calling 55.25 and thereafter all the printing methods. So it's just calling Richard. So if you refresh, it's not working. So if you're calling two underscore, that is what you created, so it's working. So please make sure the second character can also have underscore. Next, let's go and declare a new variable. Let's say I want to go and create something like credit card. So these are two different words, and let me assign some number to it. So this is a card. Usually I start with 5 as a credit card number. So it's a just random number. So I'm just putting these values. So this is a card number. So document.write my credit card number is, I want to print this in bold, plus credit card. This is how you create it, and let's close bold. Now according to notes, joining of two different words cannot carry spaces. So you may see the notes here. it's already said joining of two different words cannot carry spaces between them, but instead can have underscore or dollar. So let me explain this statement. So you have two different words. You cannot make it single because that's not the way you learn or create a words. For example, so this is not a way you read your English. So you need to split the words between them. Then only we can understand how to read it. So I have a, sorry, this is like new car in US. So this is how you create your words in an English. But right now, you cannot make this as a single word. See, this is not going to work. So credit card is not the way you have to write. So if you have two different words, it is easy to read. But when I go and execute it here, it's just not working because spaces are not allowed in between the words. So instead you may use underscores. So when you use underscore here, it is working back. So this is how you join two different words, and my card number is working. Let me put down one more example. Passport number is equal to some randomizing number. Okay, so just please don't mind, just a default or basic number I do. So document.write original my passport number is plus passport number plus bold and break. So you have two different words, passport number. That will not work again because you have using a space here. So you may not write like this because it's kind of single number, so single word. So you might be joining with underscore, or you may use camel case. What is camel case? Camel case is nothing but the second word. This is your second word of a first character should be camel case. It's the first character will be uppercase. So this is how you differentiate a word, and this will also work. So this is how you work, and that's a camel case ways of declaring variables. Most of the senior have a lot of practice in camel cases. So let's put down some examples on camel case. Last name, so L name. No, this is not the way you create. This is how you create. Or else first name. These are all camel cases. Okay, so currently this is how you create a variables. So let's jot it down again or revise it. Minimum character needed for declaring variable is 1 character, and second character, the first character can go with alphabets, underscore, dollar. But please try to understand, though we have three choice, we may go with alphabets, underscore and dollar, but we will not use as it is used in PHP. So please understand, this is how you comment in JavaScript. This won't be printed, don't worry, but you have to understand we will not use this in JavaScript. Dollar way of declaring we will not learn. Why? Because it's a wrong way. Like the actual problem is PHP has only first way of creating its variable as dollar is must, and if you learn, or you being a PHP programmer, you assign dollar slot in PHP, and if you have a practice in JavaScript also dollar, so it will confuse which variable is this. Is this a JavaScript variable or PHP? So to avoid that confusion, we'll not practice much of dollars, but we have alternate choice. The first character can go with alphabets or underscore. Second character can go with alphabets or alphanumeric or underscore, and minimum character required is single. And next is joining of two different words can carry up with underscore or camel case. So this is how you call. Now let's go and print document.write the value of a is, just adding the bold, plus a plus bold got close break. So the value of a, actually you didn't created it, but you're calling it. So it is calling 10 because the value of a is already declared at top, so it's fetching throughout the page. But if you try to redeclare a again with a new value called 99, so I'm going to create here with its value 99. So what happens is variables will always override. So the one which was picking up 10 is now overwritten with 99. So this overwriting will be done only at the line of its creating or initiating. So if you watch very carefully, this is where I created. So if you just go above this line, and call A will always call 10. So this is fetching from its previous top occurrence, which is 10. But at any point, if you assign a new value to the existing variable, A used to have 10, is now having 99, it is overriding, and that depends on the line of its creation. So if you try to create this variable just below to the existing variable A, this will override from top till the bottom. Okay, so this is how the variables will override. Next, if I'm going to call, I'm actually created lower a, but you're calling capital A. So you're calling capital A. So this is not going to work, because if A's have to fetch 99, it's a lower A I created, but you're not able to fetch. It's printing lower A. It's not printing capital A, because variables are case sensitive. So if you want to create it again, A is equal to, let's say, 70. So this is going to fetch differently because they are case sensitive, right? So this is how you create variables in JavaScript. Hope you have a good idea about how you handle your variables. The main purpose of variables is to store the value. So you want to store some values, you have to create variables. Okay, so variables are temporary holders. So if you want to assign a value, it's going to temporarily hold these values. For example, you want to store his name, his account, his personal details. You have to store them inside the variables first, and once you store them, you have to store this permanently inside the database. So you have to learn furtherly database. Database is a place where the values are going to be held permanently, but before we store them permanently, you have to store for a temporary period of time, and that is where you learn variables for holding the values for a temporary time. So in JavaScript, this is how you create variables. So hope you enjoy this class. I will see you on the next session, which is data types. So see you guys. Bye.